emotionally but thankfully eating my snack for dinner while watching my daughter have her meal with the biggest smile on her face. I was so grateful that she was young enough to have no idea about my struggles in that moment. I was drowning in bills. I just moved into my own place post-separation, and it was more difficult than I was expecting. I was working constantly because I was afraid to lose my job. I also needed the overtime to help pay for all the late fees and necessities. I was even late on my rent a time or two, which was terrifying. I'd be up in bed most nights with the stress of my circumstances fueling me like caffeine, ruminating over what I was going to do. I was overwhelmed and scared. I kept my daughter in the same school she was in before my split, even though it was far from my new home, with the hope that having the same friends and teachers would help minimize the changes happening in her life. But the commute was rough. I wouldn't get home with her until about 7:30 each night, even though I'd leave work at 4:30 in the afternoon. When we finally arrived home, I'd slowly take her out of her car seat and carry her warm sleeping body upstairs. I'd wake her up for dinner and bath time, and then it was time for bed so we could do it all again in the morning. But on this brisk walk home, I was praying that I wouldn't have to make do with peanut butter and 4 crackers for dinner again. I was hungry, I was tired, and I needed help. I'd gone and tried to get resources but was told that I made too much money to get support. Even if I wasn't ready to share that I needed help out loud with the people I knew, the energy of needing a miracle was dripping off me like ice cream in a cone on a hot summer day. I was falling apart. The walk from the train station to my apartment went through a shopping center. I'd usually walk on the sidewalk, but today I was cutting through the parking lot because I was rushing. As I walked through the cars of people filling their trunks with groceries, I remembered hoping to have that experience too and soon. I wanted to have the freedom to fill my car with the groceries we needed. I didn't want to be so strapped for cash. And then I looked down at my feet and saw it. When we're growing up, we often proclaim that we will never go through anything that we've declared as a flaw or mistake in our own upbringing. I will do it right, we innocently affirm. It's only after we've spent some time with adulthood and learned its true chaotic personality that we realize what we're really dealing with. That perhaps this grown-up life isn't as easy as it seemed. It's why we encourage children to enjoy being young and to not grow up too fast, because we know that as you gain autonomy in adulthood, you also meet difficulties. What helps ground us in moments of uncertainty is the reminder that we've survived so much, that we have thrived despite all that we've seen and endured, and we can trade in our naive declarations of getting it right, and instead plant our 2 feet on the ground and set off on our path with the wisdom we have guiding us along. Whether you're revisiting old territory or starting something new, the guideposts throughout this audiobook serve as a reminder that you're moving onward, even when the terrain is rough. These 4 guideposts are not a checklist. I wish I could tell you one existed, but I haven't found it. Instead, these guideposts chaperone us as we walk along. They don't give you the answers, but you can find your answers as you move through them. When viewing a map, you'll notice there are plenty of directions and places you can go, but only you know where you want to land. Society encourages us to find answers in things, in success, in relationships, and in achievement. But our wisdom is in the very vessel we've had since the day we were formed. It's within us. In the story I share here, I was learning to have empathy for my parents. I was learning how to be vulnerable enough to let others in, and so much more from what on the surface looked like just a story about being strapped for cash. For you, perhaps you're traversing the past, living in the shadow of childhood traumas as you parent your own children. Maybe you're in the thick of it, a divorce, an aging parent, a stagnant professional life that you know.